also if they are interested. So just wait for 5 more minutes and we'll start the session. Thank you. Alrighty, guys. A very good afternoon to everyone. So we have 4 participants, I guess. We are hoping a few more also, actually. So until then, we'll wait for 5 more minutes. Until then, Tanya, you have a question. Just post your question in the Q&A, and I'll address the question. Okay. Or you want to talk? Okay, let me just allow you to talk. Yes, Tanya, you may ask your question.
Sir, I don't have any question. Last few minutes I didn't hear your voice.
Okay. No worries. So we are just about to begin the session. Just 5 more minutes and we'll start.
Okay, sir, no problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Okay, so let's start with the session. So it's already 12 afternoon. So very good afternoon to everyone and welcome to this webinar on CMA. So we'll be talking about the US-CMA course. So just to give you some background about this course, we'll of course introduce and I'll run you through this slides also. But I think one of the most sought after course by students and professionals aspiring to seek higher qualifications. And as far as CMA is concerned, it is one of the pinnacle professions in the world of finance. I hope I'm audible to everybody. I hope I'm audible to everybody. So in the recent times, the CMA course have action and is in great demand right now in India and outside India also, specifically in the Middle East and other countries also. So many students, many aspiring professionals are looking forward to this course to accelerate their career. Course will not just help you in accelerating your career, but it will also help you in controlling your career. Acceleration without control will lead to accidents. So that's why this will be a great accelerator to your career, but this will also give a lot of control and an impetus to your career in the world of finance. The positions that are available, the compensation that is available to CMEs is by far one of the most premium compensations. The respect that is available to CMS is also very high. and you get a very uh, respected and a very uh, premium qualification, which will help you, which will get you a lot of respect also in the industry. Uh, Many US companies are looking for experts in the world of finance, and CMAs are right there. Okay, they are right there to be picked up. Uh, there are several reasons why CMA as a qualification is in great demand. Of course, they are subject matter experts. They are um, uh, not just subject matter expert, but they are having a lot of business sense also as a part of their uh, study or as a part of this course. You acquire a lot of skills which are not generally available to everybody. Okay, so students doing CMA will have a great sense of business. They will have a great sense of finance for sure. They will have a great sense of pricing. They will have a great sense of understanding the bigger picture, and that's what most of the companies are looking for, candidates who can understand the bigger picture. They are not looking for people who will do only the nitty-gritties of the daily routine work, but they will understand the impact of each and every activity that is being done in the organization. And that's why CMAs stand out. CMAs stand out as a uh, fierce professional, not just a professional, but a fierce professional who will take control in their hands, and they will lead organizations, they will lead teams, they will lead companies to a different orbit, simultaneously taking their own career to a different orbit. Having said that, let us go through this presentation first. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to post the questions on the Q&A board. And at the end of the session, I will answer your queries with respect to the course, with respect to whatever questions you might have about the course or relating to the course. I would be more than happy to answer your question. So let's get started with the presentation to begin with, and I will explain. I will add my own insights or my own from my own experience. I will try to draw some parallels and give you some uh, thoughts, my personal thoughts also. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Prasad Kulkarni. I'm a chartered accountant and a CPA. Been in the industry for last 20 years across the globe. Have worked with mostly IT companies and manufacturing companies in India and outside India, US, Middle East, and Europe. So that's my background. And last 6, 7 years, I've been a freelancer, uh, doing the thing that I have loved to do. One of those is teaching. So I've been associated with EduPristine for last 6 years, teaching students of CPA and CMA. So that's in a nutshell about my background. So let's get started with this presentation first. Okay. Uh, Introduction. Uh, Again, a great organization has great roots. So it was started all the way in 1919. So this has a great history behind it. And over a period of time, it has grown into a global organization of great repute. So there are over 125,000 members across 150 countries, which is almost in each of the each of the countries, you will have a CMA. There are 10 global offices, 300 IMA chapters, professionals and students. And there are 150 plus CMA review course providers globally. And that is also a great insight as to why there is a great demand for CMA as a career choice. Okay, this is a choice that you would make. This is a choice that you would make. Nobody is going to force you to do CMA. But once you make that choice, you have to make sure that you complete and accomplish this course successfully. Only then you will be able to get the recognition, the respect that the qualification deserves. This profession um, has its roots in the US, and it was founded in 1919. So it's almost, this is the 101st year of the IMA. Okay. So this course over a period of time have gained a lot of respect because of the course content, because of the rigor, and because of the fine professional that this institute provides to the world at large for various organizations to be hired and take their organizations to a different level altogether. So I am a network provider in India. In India also it has started gaining a lot of traction, and there are many colleges, universities who have tied up with CMA or with for the CMA course along with the college programs, along with your BCom, MComs, whatever courses are being conducted by colleges or universities, as a part of this course run parallel. So this is a great value add to those students also, and many universities are adopting that course structure as a part of their regular curriculum also. So there are 3 platinum approved providers, 40 plus active partners and course providers here in India itself, which is massive. And there is a fantastic corporate engagement that happens for CMEs. So there are about 34% professionals and 66% students. So even 34% of professionals is a mighty good number for those who are going through a midlife crisis or going through a mid-career crisis, and they are looking to accelerate their career and get into the higher orbits. I think for them this course would be a great benefit. Okay, for student, of course, this would be a fantastic value add. So just BCom, MCom, who cares nowadays? Actually, there are so many BComs and other professions which are getting out of the colleges every year. Not everybody gets a job of their. There are very good chances, or most of the CMS get recruited immediately. There is no doubt about that, and they get a respectable position also in the organization. Are seeking quality professionals, CMA being one of the best professions that they would be looking forward to. What are the various positions that are available? Right from the chief executive officer to a fresher, everybody, I mean, anything and everything that fits between these 2 positions would be a CMA Hey, my apologies. I just got disconnected. Let me just share the screen again. Just give me a second. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Okay. So CMAs play a very vital role in the overall organization in the decision-making process of various organizations. And with their experience, with their expertise, with their qualifications, with their subject matter expertise, they can play a very vital role in the growth of the organization, scaling up of the organization, and they can play roles in at multiple levels in the organization, right from the CEO to business analyst to financial analyst to finance manager, budget analyst. They are very good at budgeting. That is one of their primary skills that every CMA would generally have. They are cost accountants, treasurers who better would understand how to manage finances better, who better can understand how to make money work for the organization. I think they are great in treasury management. So they play a very vital role, and quite a few CMAs get themselves positioned in the treasury management of organizations. They can be business analyst and many more of the financial decision making positions. So they can carve out a position for themselves just by the very fact they are great at managing data. So any data which has some financial relevance, they are good at it. Okay, so CMAs can play a very vital role in capacity management, building capacity for the organization, budgeting, planning, long-term planning, short-term financing, working capital management. All of these are their tools. They are good at managing the factory accounts, which are very vital. As a cost accountant or as a management accountant, that is their forte. Okay. Steps to becoming a CMA. What are the different steps? I mean, work hard, work hard. I mean, again, before we go to the next slide, uh, the steps are okay, but it needs, and the course also deserves hard work, serious work. Only then you will be able to be successful in CMA. Passing the exam is one part. You will pass the exam, no doubt about that. But you should have the ability to work very hard. If somebody would have told you that this is a cakewalk course, then it is for those who prepare very well. For those who do not, I think it will be very difficult course. But otherwise, a dedicated, sincere attempt to your studies, a regular studies, uh, and regular practice of MCQs will help you in becoming a CMA within a year or so. Okay. So the requirement for becoming certified: completion of two exams. There are two exams, part one and part two. Okay, we'll talk about what part one is and what part two is. So you just clear the two exams in one go and you become a CMA technically. So you need to be a bachelor's, okay, degree. You need to have a BCom or MCom if possible. 2 years of relevant work experience, and once you have all these three things, you will be able to take an active membership of the Management Accountancy Institute, IMA. So only if you have the membership of IMA, you will be able to practice in the US. Okay, so these are the requirements of becoming certified. Okay, exam testing windows. The exam is administered at hundreds of computer testing facilities worldwide. In India, it is conducted in Mumbai. There are several locations across the globe. Generally, the exams are conducted at Prometric centers. So you just have to take the appointment of any Prometric center well in advance and just go and appear for the exam. So it's become very convenient. It has become very accessible, most importantly. So that's how exams are conducted at Prometric Center. There are 3 exam testing windows offered each year. So every year you can appear for the exam only between between these 3 windows. So January and February, May and June. So March is a blank window where you cannot appear for the exam. There are no exams conducted in the month of March. May and June, July, August, exams are not conducted. September and October, November, December, exams are not conducted. So Jan, Feb, May, June, and September, October are the 6 months during which you can appear for the exam. The candidates schedule exams at their own pace. Part 1 and Part 2 can be taken in any order. On average, candidates complete the program within 12 to 18 months. Again, I would like to add my own insight over here. Candidates who study hard, candidates who prepare for the exam religiously, diligently, who take notes sincerely, who prepare their own notes also, it becomes easier for them to pass the exam within 12 months. Okay, uh, so it is necessary that you attend the online sessions, you start practicing the multiple choice questions which will be provided to you by EduPristine and Becker. You have to prepare the TBCs, TBS, test-based simulations uh, every day. So every day, 3 to 4 hours of study is absolutely essential for you to get stellar success in the CMA exam. Okay. So there are candidates who have passed the exam within before much ahead of 12 months. So 7, 8, 9 months also there are candidates who have cleared. So my simple suggestion, suggestion or my simple request for people who are going to take CMA exam, people who have made a choice to go for a CMA exam, they have taken a very solid decision for themselves and for their career, for their life. Now, if you are going to use this qualification as an accelerator, you have to accelerate your efforts also. If you do not accelerate your efforts and you only expect that the qualification will do its job, then that would be a bit too far-fetched. So you have to accelerate your efforts, you have to accelerate your studies, You have to accelerate yourself, and you have to submerge yourself. You have to immerse yourself in the subject and in the exam. You have to be in that subject. Okay, so then there is no reason why you will not clear the exam in first attempt. Many students do fail to understand the importance of regular studies for the CMA exam, and that's where they falter. Uh, Regular study, just 2 3 hours every day, regularly every day. I'm not exaggerating, but every day, come what may, whether you are not well, you fall sick, or whatever be the reasons, great excuses are for yourself. But you just find one great excuse to study. Okay, just find one great excuse. There are 100 reasons why you did not study or why you would not study, but just find one great excuse why you should study. And CMA is one such qualification that itself is an excuse, that because of this qualification I will be able to accelerate my career. I will be able to take my career to a different orbit. And that's why you should study very hard. Study very hard. Okay. So having said that, let us look at the exam content. There are two parts, part one and part two. Part one is about financial planning, performance, and analytics. And part two is about strategic financial management. Part one, there are 6 chapters: external financial reporting decisions, planning, budgeting, and forecasting, performance management, cost management, internal controls, technology, and analytics. Technology and analytics is a new subject that has been new topic that has been introduced in part one, for the simple reason, as a CMA, you need to have a great business acumen. You need to understand technology very well. Technology can do wonders if you understand. Technology can be a black box if you do not understand. So, as a CMA, if you need to accelerate your career, technology is of paramount importance. You need to understand the new tools in technology, what data, how to manage data, what are the aspects. All of those things would be covered in technology and analytics. You will be able to understand the nuances, understand the impact of technology on business. Okay, so that is part one. Part two is strategic financial management. We'll start from financial statement analysis, corporate finance, decision analysis, a very important subject or important topic as far as CMA course is concerned. Risk management, investment decision, and professional ethics. Again, professional ethics also is a very important topic, not just from a theoretical point of view, but we do not understand what ethics is. There is a thin line between what is ethical and what is not ethical. So, as a profession, we need to understand what is that code of conduct that has been laid down by IMA for CMAs. Okay, so we need to understand what is ethical, what is not ethical, what is right and what is not right. There is a very thin line that we need to understand, and we need to balance it. So, as a part of this course, and the importance or the credibility of this qualification is because the ethical behavior, the ethical understanding of the profession, of the professionals. Okay, and that's what IMA has done beautifully well. Okay, so there are three important topics that you need to be aware of, three or four topics I would say: cost management, internal controls, decision analysis, and investment decisions. These four topics are very vital for the success of CME course. Risk management would be an overarching topic which would be prevalent in both the parts, part one and part two. You will have to have a greater understanding of risk management. What is risk? How risk is to be covered? How risk is to be mitigated? What are the various ways in which you can eliminate or mitigate the risk? What are the different tools? How to create a framework, enterprise risk framework? And there are several things that we need to understand as far as risk is concerned. That is also a very important topic which will have relevance in each of the topics that we are going to cover in part one as well as part two. Let us do a little bit of deep diving into each of the topics. External financial reporting decisions, part one. So it will start with financial statement. The basic statement. This is just the overview of what we have studied from 11th standard through BCom or MCom. Okay, we'll talk about the balance sheet. We'll talk about the profit of income statement, not profit and loss account. Income statement. We'll talk about other comprehensive income. We'll talk about cash flow statement. All of those things we will cover. What are the components of other comprehensive income? What do you mean by revenue recognition? How do you do the valuation of on the balance sheet of assets and liabilities? How do you measure it? All of those things would be covered in external financial reporting decision. That is, this is a summary of all what we have learned from 11 through BCom. So your understanding of this journal entries, etc., you should be very fluent. You should be very fluent as far as journal entries are concerned. That will be of great help when you are studying for the CMA course. The second topic is planning, budgeting, and forecasting. We will talk about strategic planning, forecasting techniques. There are different for regression analysis. We will talk about probabilities, etc. That will be useful for forecasting, budgeting methodologies, annual profit plan, and top level planning and analysis. We'll talk about how to prepare a budget, annual budget, forecast, monthly budgets, quarterly budgets, half yearly budgets, annual budget, 3-year plan, 4-year plan, 5-year plan. All of those things would be looked into this subject. Top, bottom up approach, top down approach, all of those things would be covered over here in planning, budgeting, and forecasting. We'll discuss about different types of budget. How do you create a production budget? How do you create a cash flow budget? How do you create an asset budget? How do you create a income budget? All of those things would be covered over here. Then again, the important topic, as I mentioned, performance management, vital, very vital, because as a finance controller or as a management accountant, your insight is what matters. And how do you evaluate the numbers will be studied in performance management. So we'll talk about the variance analysis, that is standard costing. We'll try to understand how to create a structure, how, what are responsibility centers, what are segments, what are reporting segments, and what are the different performance measures that will help us to guide or to understand the implications, or uh, we'll be able to analyze those numbers holistically by just looking at the profitability statements, or by just looking at the balance sheet and just driving some ratios or understanding some variances. For example, there is a positive variance in revenues. What led to that positive variance? We should be able to drill it down to 2 or 3 levels as to what are the 3 or 4 major causes which actually took revenues. Was there increase in prices? Was it all about increasing demand? Was it because quantity was sold? What were the reasons what that drove my revenue to higher levels vis-a-vis previous periods? Was my budgeting wrong in the first place, or I had underestimated revenues in the budget? So all of those questions would be answered when you start doing the performance management. So standard costing is the topic which we'll be discussing mostly in performance management. We'll talk about the variance analysis per se. There are different types of, we'll talk about raw material variance, labor variance, we'll talk about overhead variance, fixed and variable overhead variances. Then we'll talk about sales variances also. These are 3 or 4 types of variances that we'll talk about. Again, in each of these variants, there are multiple levels that we will discuss. Then is cost management, measurement concepts, costing systems, overhead cost, supply chain management, and business process improvement. These are some of the topics that we will be talking in cost management, or we will be discussing in cost management. What are ABC costing, standard costing, marginal costing? All of those things would be covered over here. What are overhead cost? How do we apply overhead cost? How do you allocate overhead cost? What happens if there is a shortfall or a surplus in overhead cost? How do we apply it for extraordinary situations? What is the accounting treatment for spoilages? How do we mm, decide or define overhead rates? All of this would be in the cost management. Internal controls, very important, as I mentioned, risk as a topic which would have an overarching impact on each of the topics that we would be discussing in part 1 and part 2. So internal controls are all about mitigating risk, creating a structure whereby the chances of risk, exposure to risk, are minimized. Okay, we'll talk about the governance, corporate governance. We'll talk about how do, what do you mean by governance, how to create a corporate governance, what are the roles and responsibilities of directors, what are the roles and responsibilities of other professionals. All of those things would be covered over here. Risk and compliance. Okay, how do we evaluate risk, and how do we do the compliances, statutory as well as control compliances. System controls and security measures. What are the different system controls that need to be applied or that can be applied? What are the different security measures that can be applied so that we can a physical boundary to a company, that itself is a good way. We'll talk about physical hardware measures, and we'll talk about software measures also. All of those things are a part of internal controls. Technology and analytics, information systems. What is the meaning of data, information, knowledge, etc. Will be covered over here. What is an information system? What are the different angles to information system? What is data governance? How do you manage data? How do you maintain the integrity of the data? Technology enabled finance transformation. So most of globally, world over, most of the companies who have outsourced or offshored their business processes, right from finance, and finance is one of the processes which has been outsourced, part of finance, AP, AR, financial FP&A as they call it. Most of those processes have been outsourced to India or to other countries, and most of that transformation has been led by CMAs. Most of, because they understand what it takes, how it is to be done, what are the controls to be established, how to manage the integrity of the data transfer. All of those things are spearheaded by CMAs or finance, senior finance professionals, specifically CMAs. They will understand this much more better than others. Okay. Part two is the strategic financial management. So financial statement analysis will talk, will understand the vertical analysis and horizontal analysis financial statements. We'll understand how to do an analysis of a financial statement. Once you start looking at the income statement, at the balance sheet, then what are the things that you should be looking for? How should you look at that financial statements in the first place? Okay. What are those areas where you should look first? Okay, then you should derive some conclusions from that financial statements. Now to make sure, or now to emphasize your findings, you will try to find out, do some financial ratios. There are different types of profitability ratios, turnover ratios, liquidity ratios. All of those ratios you will understand. Now every ratio, there are multiple dimensions to each of the ratios. We'll try to understand one or two dimensions, but it is more from an experience you will be able to judge, evaluate a ratio. A change in the liquidity means what are the other areas in which there would be an impact? There would be impact on my cash flows, there would be an impact on my profitability, there would be an impact in my turnover. What are those ratios which will have an impact because of changing one component or two components in my balance sheet or profit and loss account, and what could be the implication? So that understanding or that evaluation we will try to learn. Profitability analysis, financial ratios. Corporate finance, risk and return. Again, risk is, as I mentioned, overarching topic. We'll again cover risk from a very different dimension now. Okay, we'll look at various tools, CAPM model, and various other mod. Actually only CAPM is what we'll be covering actually in CMA, but we'll try to understand what the different types of risk, internal, external, the classification of risk, and what is the relationship of a return vis-a-vis risk. High risk, high return, low risk, low return. How do we calculate what is for a specific level of risk, what should be the expected return? So we will try to understand that relationship using some models in corporate finance topic. We'll talk about long-term financial management. We'll talk about working capital and international finance, the impact of foreign currency, the impact of international taxation. All of those things would be looked into corporate finance. Decision analysis, again a very important topic. Okay, a tool that, or a skill that every CMA should possess. Okay, decision analysis and investment decisions, two very related linked topics. One is CVP, that is marginal analysis. You should be very fluent in understanding what is marginal analysis, marginal costing, and what is absorption costing. The difference, you should have your cost sheet right in your brains at all times in your career. Okay, that cost sheet structure should be embedded in your brain somewhere. Okay, and you should be able to understand the implications of that only if you have that cost sheet very correct. So we'll talk about cost, volume, and profit analysis. That is nothing but the marginal costing, as they call it. CVP analysis, marginal analysis. Okay, what is the impact if my capacity is available on cost versus cost and on profits? What is the impact if I want to have a specific level of profits? What should be the volume at which I should do the production, and what should be the cost? So we know two variables, we try to find out the third variable by looking at different permutations and combinations. That's what we will be studying in decision analysis. Risk management, again, enterprise risk identification, assessment, and mitigation. We'll talk about certain frameworks which are associated with risk management. Okay, COSO, COBIT, these are some of the frameworks which are globally enterprise ERM, enterprise risk management. There are two or three frameworks that we will be talking about as far as risk management is concerned. So this is more theoretical subject, theoretical topic. Investment decision, again, very important. Capital budgeting is one of the tools or one of the skills that a CMA is expected to know very, very well. Okay, so we'll talk about time value of money. We'll talk about the net present values, how to calculate the net present value factors, how what is payback, what is discounted payback, how to do discounting, what is future value, what is uh, today's value, current value. Then we'll talk about internal rate of return. There are 5 or 6 tools that we are going to study as far as capital. Profitability index is another tool that you will learn. So capital budgeting process, typically long-term financial management, long-term investments actually. Whether I should make the investment or I should not make the investment. If I'm making the investment, what are the risk associated, and for that particular risk, what is the return that I can expect? So this is what we will be learning in investment decisions. And then professional ethics, again a theoretical subject. Business ethics, ethical consideration for management accountant and the organization. This is a very important topic from our professional conduct point of view, professional as well as personal conduct. How is a CMA, because he is now a representative of the profession at large, so his conduct also needs to be in sync with the organization, okay, with the community at large. So that's why that ethics as a topic is very important from a professional point of view, and that is what you are going to represent, and that is what an organization or a CMA would be known for. Okay, so let me just go back. Chapter number 1 is mostly theory. There are a few very small questions, mathematical problems that you will encounter over here. Planning, budgeting, and forecasting theory, and a little bit of mathematics, not great mathematics. Performance management, purely mathematical. Again, mathematical, when I say mathematical, simple mathematics, but you will have to do some calculations over here. Cost management, a little bit of mathematics. Internal controls theory, technology and analysis theory. So there are 2 or 3 topics from part 1 which has some mathematics involved. Otherwise, most of it is theory. Part 2, financial statement analysis, mathematics, corporate finance, mathematics as well as theory, decision analysis, mathematics, risk management theory, investment decisions, mathematics, professional ethics theory. So you need to be aware about which topics would cover what. Okay, that's why I just mentioned that part 1 and part 2. Again, as far as the mathematics of in this course is concerned, it's maybe 30 to 35% or maybe 40% is mathematics, and that too not very complicated mathematics, simple mathematics which you would have already studied in your school time. Okay, so what is the support that IMA provides to the profession? Certifications, we are talking about one certification called as Certified Management Accountant, CMA, and there is something called as CSCA, Certified in Strategy and Competitive Analysis. This is like just a additional qualification that CMA can also have. Okay, good to have or great to have qualification or certification from the IMA Institute. There are 50 plus seminars that are conducted, webinars that are conducted, so that you can get your CPs, continuing professional education. That is some points that you are going to you need to accumulate as a part of your to continue your membership with the profession. There are few 500 plus CPE courses, so to you have to keep learning. So the motto of any profession, you finish the exam and be done with it, may not be enough. You have to continue learning. You have to make sure that you are up to date about the latest happenings in the world of finance, in the world of business, in the world of technology, so on and so forth. Okay, career resources, there are career driver, career management tool. There is an ethics center. So if you are a professional and you are facing a dilemma in your organization and you don't know whom to approach, then there is a ethics center which is dedicated facility by the IMA, where you can approach and you can vent out your concerns, and they will certainly guide you as to what should be the next step that you should be taking. There is a leadership academy for those aspiring professionals who want to take their career to a higher level. There is a leadership academy which you can make good use of to accelerate your career. The research and publication, these 2 magazines, which are wonderful magazines, the Strategic Finance magazine and the Management Accountant, which is a quarterly magazine. So these 2 magazines are a gold mine of information, knowledge, which you should read very, very seriously, because a lot of things that you would read in this magazine would be more or less relevant to your exam, you will get a good insight, and automatically your study and preparation for those topics would be done through these magazines as well. And it's a global community. You go walk into any country, you will find an IMA chapter, you will find somebody in your organization who is a CMA. So that is a global community where you have a sounding board, you have a support if you need across the globe. Benefits. Again, US based CMAs, they earn more compensation. I don't want to overemphasize, but that's a fact. CMA earn pretty well or very good. Okay. Globally, CMAs earn 50% more in the total median compensation than those without CMA certification. That's a mighty high number, mighty good number. Okay. 50% more is huge, right? It helps in distinguishing you from your peers for certain financials. So again, there are some written rules and there are some unwritten rules across the organizations. So if you are a BCom, and I don't want to take away anything from a person, but qualifications play a very very vital role. Qualification is the game changer in the lives of people. You can grow. Again, there are examples where qualifications mean nothing, but if we are in the business of or we are in the industry where we are going to work in the organization, then qualifications alone will help you take your career to a different height. And there are specific jobs which are earmarked only for CMAs. A treasury job, for example, can be done only by a CMA or a CPA. Nobody else will be able to claim that job. Maybe a CFA, but CMA and CPAs are most touted or most recommended people who would be able to do that job very efficiently. So there are carved out jobs which are specific only to CMAs. Okay, budgeting and planning. Only a CMA would be able to do it efficiently. Pricing, for example, only a CMA would be able to do it. So there are jobs that are specifically carved out. MIS, for example, CMAs will be doing it very well. Okay. Again, CMA is a globally recognized profession. So it you go to any part of the world, you will have some support, some help. Uh, Middle East, it is in great demand. In India, it is in great demand. In other countries, also it is in great demand. In US, of course, it is in great demand. Okay. The value of CMA. Achieving a CMA credential demonstrates your mastery of financial planning, analysis, control, decision support, and professional ethics. It is a prestigious, professional, rigorous, empowering, and competent profession. Okay. It is prestigious, no doubt about that. Okay. Uh, just by saying that I am a CMA means a lot, okay, to the other person. Automatically, the respect for that profession, that person who has that CMA qualification will rise. Even when you go for an interview, the very fact that you would be invited for an interview would be because you are a CMA. Okay, it is a professional qualification. It is not an academic qualification. Understand the difference between academic and professional. Professionals is higher level. Okay, now you have the basic academic qualification, but you are now going to polish though that same academics, same concepts, same principles, same philosophies at with a very different dimension, with a very different uh, what do we call? You are going. It's just polished stone. That's a diamond, right? A stone on its own, it's of no value unless it is polished. So that professional qualification is the polishing that will happen to your understanding, your perspective, your subject matter expertise, uh, knowledge of subjects. That is what professional is all about. So that means you also have to display professional conduct, your discipline, your ability to understand, your ability to slog long hours for studying, practicing, etc. It is rigorous. I mean, it's not, again, from a career point of view, from an exam point of view, both ways it is a rigorous qualification. You need to log in several number of hours studying this profession, studying this, understanding this, and then applying in your career. It is empowering, no doubt. With a CMA qualification in my hand, I would be able to walk into any organization with a lot of confidence. With a lot of confidence. Okay. I will be able to debate, I will be able to discuss, I will be able to understand, I will be able to listen. Okay. And I will be able to give my own views. That is empowering, right? It is not just getting a great position. No doubt you'll get a great position, but it will make you very very confident. Okay. It's very competent. I mean, as compared to other professions, CMA would be one of the best qualifications that you can have. Okay, it's very, very competent. You would be far ahead of others on the curve. Okay, who should get a CMA? I would say everybody who wants to do a career in finance. Everybody and anybody who wants to make a career in finance should go get a CMA at the earliest. Okay, it's pretty quick, right? 1 year you get some premium qualification. That's awesome, right? 1 year. Otherwise, you do CA, so you have to slog for 3, 4, 5 years. CPA 3, 4, 2, 3 years. 1, 2, at least 2 years, if not more. So the ACCA go for 3, 4 years. So if within a year you are able to get that qualification, of course, subject to your own dedication and commitment to the profession and to the studies. Okay. So professionals who want to work in management and be proficient in financial aspects of their management role, it's for them. People who want to demonstrate professional expertise, not just subject matter, professional expertise in financial planning, analysis, control, decision support, and professional ethics. And people who want to distinguish themselves as management ready without having to go through the MBA. MBA program, unless you are from those Ivy League colleges, other MBA programs, I have my own personal reservations about the quality of professionals that get out of the MBA colleges. The CMA would stand out. I mean, anytime they would be far ahead, far more superior, far more effective, far more efficient, far more knowledgeable, far more capable than any MBA. Okay, so this is for all those people who have great aspirations in the world of finance. Okay, so these are some of the examples that are happening. So the demand for CMAs is increasing. This is just to drive that point. In Amazon, in India, Amazon is based. They have their offices in Bangalore, etc. They are also looking for CMA. Okay, preferred qualification BCom plus CMA. Just a BCom will not do. You need to have some. You need to have some additional professional qualification. A BCom can grow up to here, but if you have to grow from there to above, I need to have a professional qualification. A BCom may not be sufficient. Okay, so this is see for the this is for fresher actually, and for CMAs. Okay, and some editorial it has been covered in some of the respected magazines of the world. Forbes India, again, it's a very respected, reputed magazine, which did cover an article about women in accounting. IMA helps women in accounting and finance push the glass ceiling. So they have been empowering. So this is called as empowerment. People or women who were not able to crack those. Now there are many women who are doing CMA and who are taking very senior leadership positions in various organizations. Okay, so this is just to drive that point. Becker, one of the best in the industry, one of the best providers, one of the oldest providers of CMA courses, CMA course content. There is no doubt about the quality of, not because I'm talking about, I'm teaching the Becker course, but truly, I mean, we benefited from Becker when we were students. And since then, I mean, it's almost 15 years ago that we completed our education, 15, 20 years ago that we completed our education. But even during those times, I mean, 20, 25 years ago, we were talking about Becker. यार किधर से करना है तो Becker से करना है. So that's how Becker we have been known. In the world of finance, they are, as far as professional qualifications like CPA, CMA is concerned, Becker, there is no alternative. There is no better alternative to Becker. Okay. So prepare with the best. So Becker Professional Education is a global leader in quality professional education, empowering people to advance their career for more than 60 plus years. Very old, very, very, very old. So we work in partnership with our clients and students to give you the skills and knowledge you need to succeed and develop in today's business climate. Becker's approach to CMA review focuses on deep understanding and retention versus rote memorization. So you can focus your studying and score high on your exam. So it's not about rote memorization. I mean, the volume of this course is pretty high, pretty much. So rote memorization will not take you anywhere, but understanding of the subject, that's what Becker will lead you to when you start solving the questions, when you start preparing for the exam through Becker. To help you succeed on exam day, Becker Exam Review provides an array of study options to ensure no surprises on exam. So the material, the questions, the appearance of the screens, etc., is also very similar to what you would encounter when you go for the real exam. Okay. Why Becker? A legacy of learning for a lifetime of success. Now, they say, I mean, there is no way in which you can compromise on quality. Okay. Uh, you might save some money here and there, but trust me, if you are looking from a long-term point of view, it is better you spend that small increase or small premium just to get the best. Okay, and it is value for money. I can say with my hands down, it is value for money. Okay, 1 million plus candidates have prepared with Becker. The top 100 accounting firms rely on Becker for their staff's exam preparation. 2,900 accounting firms. 2,900 accounting firms is a massive number. Corporations, alliances, government agencies, and universities choose Becker as their preferred choice for their candidates. Becker offering. The Becker CMA exam review. You get a study format that fits your lifestyle and work schedule. The comprehensive component allow preparation that ensures no surprises on exam day. So you'll have access to ebooks over 2,500 plus multiple choice questions, which is a massive number, massive number. Now you just do these MCQs 3-4 times and you are done, literally. So right from day one, if you start preparing and you start solving at least 25 to 30 and over a period of time within a month or 2 months, you accelerate that number to 100 MCQs per day. I think you will be CMA. Okay. 50 plus essay practice question, which is very good number, or 500 plus digital flashcards. So they have done your job simpler. So you take notes, you take your own notes, but they would have provide you with the notes which are like in small formats, flashcards on your mobile while you are taking maybe breakfast. You just go through those 3 minute, 4 minute breaks. When you are parking your vehicle, just park your vehicle and spend 2 minutes for you have to snatch or you have to steal time from your busy schedules, and that flashcards would help you in those small knowledge nuggets, as we call it, to help you accelerate your studies also. So those flashcards are very, very important and very useful. Okay. There is a mock exam that is conducted, which was evaluated very seriously, just like in exam conditions. There are comprehensive progress tests. So as you prepare for the MCQs on online, there would be progress tests, and you will get to know your progress. You have appeared for 100 questions. Out of 100 questions, 20 questions were incorrect, 80 questions are right. You have answered this a particular question wrong multiple times, or every time you have not 3 times you have solved it and 2 times you have got it incorrect. All of those insights would help you to prepare for your exam. So you will understand where you are weak, where you are strong. You will understand your strengths and weaknesses, and you will be able to utilize your strengths and eliminate your weaknesses through the course module itself, course content itself, course structure itself by Becker. They will give you exam tips. How do you approach a particular exam? How do you approach a particular question? Long questions, long answers, tiny questions, long answers, long question, tiny answers, numerical questions. All of those, there would be several exam tips, and how should you approach each and every question? That is what they will provide you. So how do you, I mean, if you don't know the answer, how you need to take a very good guess, right? How do you take that guess also would be provided over there. Okay. Study planner, it will help you in preparing for your study. You can prepare a planner. Again, you plan only for the day. You plan only for the day, that today I'm going to spend at least 2 hours studying. And that one day plan, daily plans, if you achieve that daily plans, you won't believe what you would achieve in 6 months or 9 months. Okay. That daily planning is very vital. And sticking to that daily plans is very, very important. If you do not stick to the daily plan, that's of no use, right? So study planner, they will provide you, they will give you quiz assessments. Okay. So assessments on the quizzes that they will have. And there are 2 hard copy textbooks. So you will receive physical textbooks as well, which are part 1 and part 2. EduPristine, I think EduPristine has partnered with Becker. They are the official partners of Becker, and they have been providing Becker courses through their centers across India. One of the best institutions to provide CPA and CMA courses. So they have live virtual classrooms, LVCs. fantastic infrastructure. Live classes are conducted in India. Access to recording and practice questions. So you'll get all the access, all the right now because of Corona, most of the sessions are done online. So you will get the recording of all the sessions uh, always, so that you can again go through and go through the same chapter again and again, refresh it, and study well. And there is fantastic after sales service. So if you have any queries with respect to the exam, with respect to the infrastructure, with respect to the course content, with respect to the faculties, they will always provide you with a helping hand. Okay, and they will make sure that you are at ease and you are comfortable. So your frame of mind should always be positive. Your frame of mind during the course should be very positive. Your focus should only be study, 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 hard, very hard, very, very hard. Okay, study very, very hard. EduPristine classroom training. There are 175 plus hours, 30 plus weeks of instructor-led classroom training, 24 by 7 access to program material, industry expert faculty members, and access to 175 hours of exclusive recording. Okay, that's what they will provide. Okay, as far as classroom training is concerned. So this is like the physical classroom training. Okay, where you have the faculty and you have the students sitting in the one classroom. Live virtual classrooms, same actually. Only thing it is again live, where the faculty is also going to be live on Zoom or some other what do you call software, but mostly Zoom only actually. And there would be a faculty sitting across, and they will be talking and teaching you the sessions. Everything else remains the same. Industry expert faculty members, 175 plus hours of exclusive recording, 24 by 7 online access to program material. So this is the fees structure. So if you go for the classroom, the fees is 1 lakh rupees. That is including taxes plus the Becker fees. They are conducted in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, and Chennai. Duration about 7 to 8 months. That is 175 plus hours. Typically on Sundays 9 to 3. If you go for the virtual classrooms, okay, then the fee is 85,000. Location where you can be anywhere sitting across the globe, and you can take the sessions from whichever location they are on Zoom. Again, it will take about 7 to 8 months. They are generally conducted on Saturdays and Sundays between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 7 to 10 p.m. And if you don't want to go through the training classroom or online, and you just want the self-study material, it is 35,000 rupees. You can study on your own. You will have all access to the online course content and the textbooks, etc. That is 35,000. The IMA fees, apart from this fees, there is a fees that you have to pay to the IMA. If you're a professional, the fees are $1,325. If you're a student, then the fees are $849. So the breakup is annual membership is 245 and 39 for professionals and students. Entrance fees 250 and 188 for professionals and students. And the CMA exam fee is 415 per part for professionals and $311 per part for students. Right now, as we speak, there is a discount that is going on for students, 50% discount on the fees. So instead of $188, you will have to pay only $90, $94 or whatever. Okay. So on membership, they provide a significant discount fees. Okay. Entrance fees and exam fees. So this is the course fees. So this will just be the last. So again, the bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. So you might take various. There are various places where you have. I just leave this slide for you to ponder over. At times, uh, quality can be a real game changer. So go only for the best quality that is proven, that is tested, that is tried, that is available. Okay, anything else would just lead you to a bad experience. Okay. So anyway, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Just taking two questions. सर ये वेबिनार अटेंड करके सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा क्या? वेबिनार कौन सा वेबिनार मैडम? धीरज, sorry. What would all be included in self study? Self study, your online course, just the Becker course content, the access to the Becker portal and the books. That is what would be provided. So Becker से webinar attend करके कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. You have to clear the examination. As far as CPE webinars are concerned, you will just get CPE hours. You will get certificates also, but those are online certificates. You can just have to take a download and print it for yourself. But they are only for your knowledge enhancement. They are only to help you boost your knowledge. Any other questions, my friend? Again, I'll just from my own experience, from my own personal experience of last 20 years, I have seen multiple professions. I have seen multiple people. But I think the most that stand out are professionals like CMAs. They have I've seen many of them accelerating their career to a very different level. And I know quite a few people who were stuck up in their careers for a reasonably long period of time until they decided to take control of their careers, and they did CMA. And today they are very successful and in very senior positions across the globe, in multiple countries. I know a friend who is in Saudi Arabia right now, who is heading the finance function of a very reputed group over there. I know a friend who is a partner with a leading accounting firm in Dubai. So there are quite a few people who have taken their career, who have taken control of their career, and that control can be achieved. That you can get that control by having that solid qualification in your hand. Okay, solid qualification in your hand, which is CMA. And one more question: would it include Becker's video as well? Becker's video, if they will also include. But I'll have to get that verified. Becker's videos, if they are there, generally they would be also available. Uh, but I'm not very sure. I'll have to confirm that. But you will have MCQs, you will have the simulations, you will have the ebooks, etc. All that was mentioned over here. Okay. So this is what will be there. So I don't think the videos would be there as far as only if you go for the study module. Okay. Any other questions, my friends? Any other questions? Again, I mean, I can only urge you and request you, take your career in your control, take your career in your hands, and you will get the liberty to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do, however you want to do, provided you have taken very good control of your career. And education is that game changer. Education is that uh, magic wand that will help you in achieving that control and acceleration. So I call CMAs as great accelerators, but with tremendous control. You can accelerate, but without control, you will lead to accidents. So CMAs know when to accelerate, how to accelerate, where to accelerate, and when to stop as well. So that is the control that you will get over your careers. Okay. There is a great demand right now for CMAs in India. There are several CMAs that who would be retiring in the current year. Okay, there would be a lot of demand for CMAs in next couple of years, 1 to 3 years maybe, until 2021, 22. So I was talking to somebody from Japan a couple of days ago, and he was mentioning that we are looking for people who are very good in finance, uh, because most of the population in Japan, the working population in Japan, would be retiring in next couple of years, and that's where there would be a tremendous squeeze, tremendous market opportunity that is going to be available in those countries also. Of course, language is an issue, but English is a global language, and there are people who are working in Japan who just understand English, and no harm learning Japanese also. So there is a great demand in UK, US, Australia also. There is a lot of demand for those professionals. Okay. CP or CMA, which one would have extra advantage? If you can provide some insight. Okay, CP or CMA, again, they are two different courses. Uh, I would, if you want to be a part of management accounting, then CMA is the best. If you want to be a part of corporate finance, CPA is the best. So it depends what track you want to take. Okay, both are at par, as they are very competitive courses, they are very competent courses. So both courses will give you a tremendous advantage. It would be a tremendous control that you will get in your for your career. CPA, the only difference is that it has 4 papers. It will take a bit longer for you to complete CPA. CMA just 2 papers. It will be easier for you to complete quickly. You can complete. My recommendation: go for both. Okay, do one course and then take the other course. So if you happen to look at most of the CFOs, most of the fund managers, most of the investment bankers, they would have all these 2 or 3 qualifications under their belt. They would be CPS, CMAs. Okay, they would be CMAs, CFAs. So depending on the track that you want to take, you decide the qualification. Don't decide the qualification just because somebody is saying so. Okay, decide what your liking is. Decide you want to be in finance. Now there are different streams. Investment banking is a different stream which CFAs generally take. Corporate finance is a different stream which CPAs generally take. Management accounting is a different stream which CMAs take. So they are the 3 pillars. You decide which pillar that you want to be on. Okay, all the 3 are very competitive courses. All the 3 are extremely remunerative. All the 3 are very rigorous. All the 3 are very serious courses, serious professional qualifications. So, so CFA takes 3-4 years, CPA takes 1.5-2 years, CMA maybe you will be able to do it in a year or so. So it all depends. Okay, all are competitive. CPA, CMA, they are almost at par with each other. Corporate finance CPAs are superior. Management accounting CMAs are superior. Okay. Okay. Any other questions, my friend? Any other questions, my friend? Any other? I would be more than happy to answer your questions if you have any. Use this opportunity to at least get to know a new qualification if you are not aware of. So ask whatever. I mean, it could be a very trivial question, no problems. I would be more than happy to answer your questions. Okay. I have benefited largely because of my professional qualifications, significantly rather. A great part of my success or my satisfaction in the profession comes from the professional qualifications that I actually got. The rate at which I grew in my career was all because of the professional qualifications. Simple as that. Okay. Yes, so we have just recently started a batch. In fact, yesterday was the second session that happened for the new batch that started for the virtual classes. So today would be the third session so we are just started with the first topic, which is going on right now. So and that batches keeps, this is like a revolving batch. So whichever topic you start, you will end that batch at that topic itself. So there is no problem. You can start anywhere at any point of time. There shouldn't be much of a problem. Each topics are independent. There will be some linkages, but most of the time the faculties would be more than happy to clear the doubts during those sessions. Yes, classes are live. Live in the sense, I mean, yeah, they are 7 to 9 Saturdays, Sundays, 7 to 10 on Saturdays and Sundays evening. The batches are going on regularly. So we just started last week. So yesterday was the second session. Today would be the third session. Oh, classroom, no. Classroom still not. Classroom still not. There are a lot of challenges because of Corona as far as physical classroom classes are concerned. So that will take some more time, maybe February or March, once we have all the chaos that is happening around Corona and because of Corona. Once that subsides, I think the physical classes will also start happening. And we are all eagerly waiting for that to happen. Once that happens, that would be a great benefit and great advantage to everyone, to the faculty, to the organization, to the students, everyone. Live classes have their own limitations, no doubt about that. Live classes have their own limitations, and yeah, we will just try to be, but it's like this. I mean, if there are limitations, we will try to overcome those limitations. We will try to manage within those limitations. We will try to find different ways of doing business, right? So live classes have been a benefit. Again, there would be some nuances, some things here and there, which may not be exactly similar to physical classes, but they are there, which is an advantage that something is better than nothing, right? So that's how. And I think live classes are. I mean, that has become the normal now. Okay, live classes have become the normal. Students are enjoying. Faculties are also enjoying. Physics classes have their own charm, but live classes are also equally better, equally effective, and equally efficient. Any more questions, my friends? Any more questions? If you have, I would be happy to answer. I can only say that you should go for it. You should go for this course, not because I'm a teacher at EduPristine or I'm a teacher of faculty with Becker, but I think the benefits that you would be earning after doing this course, and you will realize this may not be immediately. Okay, it took almost 6 to 7 years for me to realize what is the great benefit that I have actually got because of the CMA qualification or CPA qualification, because of my CA, because of my engineering. So you have to keep adding qualifications. You have to keep adding. You have to keep adding qualifications and make sure that you continue learning, because learning is the only thing that will help you to take a very accelerated path to the top. So learning should not stop, and professional qualifications will certainly add great value, great value to whatever you are doing. Okay, and whichever field that you are in. Okay, would it have IFRS content as well? No, IFRS nahi. Everything would be US gap. Again, as far as CMA is concerned, we are not going to cover a lot of US gap also. We are going to cover management accounting. Okay, wherever there are references to, for example, when we do the topic of inventory, we will talk only about US gap. Okay, inventory valuation. When we talk about debtors valuation, we will talk about US gap only. IFRS, we have still, as far as US is concerned, they have still not adopted IFRS. They are still in US gap. There is transition that is happening, but they have still not got there as yet. So IFRS, there would be some passing references, but not much. So we are not going to study IFRS as a part of the syllabus at all. Okay. So shall we stop here, my friends? Okay, there is one more question. Okay. Thanks. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being patient and spending an hour or so listening to me. Greatly appreciate that. And I wish you all the best. I wish you all the luck, and you stay safe and take control of your career at the earliest. Thank you, friends. So I'm just ending the meeting, and you have a good weekend. Thank you.